Okay, so I watched the Game Hustlers movie, the documentary, and I noticed that a lot of big pharma's ethics are very misplaced, and a lot of it is money over the good of people and money over the good of society, um, with a fake market of, okay, I want to prescribe this drug to make these people feel better, to be out of pain and all of this stuff, but clearly that wasn't the case because they cared more about money than maybe this drug isn't a good fit for you anymore, or maybe you should titrate down and get out, or, and stop this drug eventually so that it is a safer alternative. Um, this is really interesting to me about also how like they recruited drug reps and how they hired drug reps. And Liza Dre found people who were like her, who came from a spot where they needed money bad and they would do whatever it took to um, sell this drug in order to make money to survive. And I think that's just a really interesting aspect of how desperate people go to desperate measures in order to support their family and support themselves. And then the money and the greed becomes addictive. So not only is the drug addicting, but the money and the greed is addicting. And that influenced how the whole decline of the CEO of the company, Jack Neal, and how he completely went off the walls and began being crazy and like locked down his emails and no phones when you see him and no shoes in the house and all of these different things. And you're not allowed to do these things in my house because I'm so paranoid about you exposing the criminal things that I'm doing in this job. Um, and I think that's really interesting. And I wonder also, are these things still happening today? And what is happening today in the drug world? Like, we are so far removed from big pharma, and clearly we know that these things have happened in the past and that these are big issues that have happened, but we don't know like what is going on today. So it just makes me question for sure about the ethics of it today and what boundaries people are willing to push. And it also shows how easily manipulated studies are. So at the end of the film, they showed how the study they were quoting the entire film that showed like it's not dangerous, it's really great for cancer patients. The onset is only 5 minutes. Like, this is the solution to all your problems, and it's less than 1% addiction rate. It was so easily manipulated because it was only for cancer patients in the study, and these were terminal cancer patients who had a low amount of time to live or a low prognosis. So often the patients would die before they even had the chance of addiction. So I just find that really interesting and how they manipulated these statistics and didn't include everything in the study, and how easily they were able to convince doctors to just prescribe this just because. And the doctors did no external research, no nothing like that. They were just wondering which company had the most attractive drug reps, which company was willing to pay them the most to prescribe their drug, which is completely ridiculous. And then also which company profited the most from this. So I find it really interesting about the gray areas that are pushed, the boundaries that are pushed, and then it becomes very sketchy very quickly with the pharmaceutical industry. And I think that um, this film shows a lot of background and how things can become dangerous very quickly and things can go downhill very quickly as well. So, with the pushing boundaries, it is so easy to get caught. and it's threatened a fine. But clearly, when people start dying and people start suing because of overprescription and titrating up and all of these things, it becomes very sketchy and very dangerous for everyone involved. So I think that creating a set of very strict ethical guidelines and having very strict punishments for people who violate these guidelines would be very beneficial for the future of our pharmaceuticals and for preventing overprescription and addiction. And yeah, I just think it's a great option for creating a better society, a better world.